y'all, and welcome. Um, if you've noticed this mold that I have, um, my last video was the conclusion of the video before it, where I did the weekly resin calendar. And so now it's time for the monthly calendar. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my shaped glitter, which is shaped like little butterflies. And it's got pink and purple, green, blue. Um, I don't know if you just want to call it gold or yellow or like a yellowish orange. I don't know. Anyway, they're an iridescent color. All of them are, which will give it a little bit of a shine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour my butterflies into my resin. That sounds kind of mean, doesn't it? Anyway, I'm gonna pour my butterfly shaped glitter into my resin, and I'm going to make one layer of just the butterflies, and then I'm gonna come back in, or so I thought, with this is, I think it was a greenish gold. I'm not sure. Anyway, you'll see what happens here in a little bit. But anyway, um, so I'm just gonna pour my butterflies in there. I don't want too many because it's I would think that it's just gonna look too busy. If you just make the whole bottom layer just solid butterflies, I think it might look too busy. So I really didn't want a lot. So I'm just mixing them up in there real well. And I will have to tell you this. This video is going to be in two parts, and you will understand why later. Um, this is this is a big project, and the resin part wasn't the big wasn't the big part about it. It was the painting and the squeegee and yeah. So yeah, it's it takes a lot of time. It really does because I mean you've got a lot of squares, um, which means there's a lot of lines. You've got letters. The little squares are inside the big squares, and yeah, it takes a lot. It doesn't take a lot of time with the squeegee part, I don't think, but yeah, when I ordered my embossing kit, that little heat gun came with it. And I'll tell you what, y'all, I think that cord is maybe a foot long. I'm not joking, y'all. I mean, my table sits right next to an electrical socket, and I have to kind of like lean over to angle the. Well, you saw it. I had to angle it. And I keep forgetting to put my furniture things underneath my table. Because when I leave my art room, my office slash art room, um, I'm gone. I don't think about anything other than, maybe getting something to drink, take a break, play with my fur babies. Um, yeah, my mind is not inside my art room. So, anyway, what I'm doing, since I want to put two layers on here, what I'm doing is I'm scraping the resin up to the sides, and you know, I'm just getting them, well, I am getting them in the corners. And that's what I'm doing here, is I'm just spreading everything. And you know, as you know, resin is self-leveling. So you may see uh the stick, this little stick tread marks in there. Yeah, it will all even out. And that's perfect. I mean, that, you know, if I would have put any more in there, it just would have been really way too busy, I think. But anyway, so I'm going back over it with the heat gun. I could have done alcohol, but eh, yeah, I mean, when I came in the next day and I went, hot diggity dog, it got hard. I got so excited. It doesn't take much to excite me. But anyway, I changed my mind um, in using the, God, I wish I could remember what color it was. I just didn't like it. So I went to the Bubblegum Glow from Arteza, and what it's going to do is it's going to give like a not a chameleon, like an interference. It's a pearl white with a pink inside of it. So you'll see when it's all poured out, but of course you can tell there in the cup a little bit. But yeah, for the first layer I used 6 ounces, and for this layer I'd have to look back on the video, but I think I used another 6, 5 or 6. I'm pretty sure it was 6, because I just did not want to overflow that thing. So I'm just scraping out all the resin into the big pile there. I'm hitching it back up to its post to get it to be level. One of these days, y'all, I will think about getting those furniture levelers underneath my table. I promise. I'm gonna try and think about it. Oh goodness. So right here I'm doing the same thing I did with the first layer, is just pushing that resin up to the sides. And you're probably thinking, "Oh my goodness, you don't have enough." And trust me, I was thinking the same thing, and I'm going, "Well, maybe another ounce. I don't know," but it all worked out. I do not work well with my left hand. So in cases like this, what is it called when you can use two hands and be good at, you know, working with both? Um, is it ambidextrous? I don't remember, but anyway. So I'm heating this back up. I'm not heating it up to just, you know, have it thinner. I'm getting the bubbles out of it. So it's like hot diggity dog again. It got hard. See? Oh my goodness. Anyway, it was just super, super, super slightly bendy. And I don't know what I'm doing here, but yeah, I could not believe it got hard. I don't know if y'all can see those little white specks. It may be too difficult for y'all to see, but for people that are new to resin, or maybe you're just starting out, this is what happens when you don't mix your mica powder really well into your resin, because it will clump and leave those little, those little, I don't know, clumps. So anyway, yeah, as you can see, this mold is not fully filled up to the top, which really didn't matter to me because I plan on keeping this and using it. But if I were giving it as a gift, or by the miracle of God, somebody wants to buy something, that I can make for them, then I would have filled it up all the way. But y'all are looking at it before I am. So, in the video, now that I'm watching this, in the video, it looks super, super duper pink. Um, and right there, you can barely see the pink. So you see what I'm saying about the interference, the pink being the interference within the pearl? Um, that's what happens. You can turn it one way, it'll be really pink. You can turn it another way, and it'll be what it looks like right now. So here's the famous Squeegee. And I don't like this Squeegee because, yeah, I'm using, for now, I thought I was using Arteza's Pearl, I can't remember, Pearl Violet? I don't remember the name of it, because you'll see here in a little bit, I ended up not using it. Um, so, what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. Oh, the squeegee. Um, yeah, the rubber on the bottom of that squeegee is really, really hard. So I don't know. I might get me another one, hopefully I can find a small one, with the softer rubber on the bottom of it. I mean, this works really well. But I don't know. I don't like it. Um, but I have given away here, and I'm applying a lot of pressure because I wanted to try and get most of the paint off that I can. Yeah, but if I think about it, I'm going to look for maybe um, a lot smaller squeegee that has a soft rubber edge on it. So, yep, I didn't like the purple on there. It just blended in too much. I thought it blended in too much with the background. Um, so I decided to go with the white. And for those of you that have not seen my previous videos with me using this white, you're probably wondering what in the world I was doing with this huge bottle of white paint. I used to I used to do fluid acrylic art, and so Michael's was having a sale, and so I decided to get a couple of bottles And that bottle right there is almost used up. So I thought, I don't need to go and buy white paint. I mean, I've got, you name the color of acrylic paint, I probably have it. So, and I don't use any of it. So, it's just sitting here. And I don't know anybody that, can use it. So, yeah, this part is the part that really takes a lot of time because, like I said, I mean, you have to go. There's a bunch of lines. There's the little bitty squares inside the big square where the date, where you can write the date on there. Like the first or second or third. Um, and I'll show you in the second video what I'm talking about. But yeah, this took quite a while. And what I'm doing instead of painting the whole thing white and then using the squeegee, acrylic paint, especially when it's painted on really thin like I'm doing here, it it will um, it will dry pretty quick. So you have to be, you know, on the double. And yeah, I just took that white and went over the purple. It didn't, you know, it didn't bother me any. See what I mean by the little squares inside the big squares? That that's what I was talking about. And with this type of project, you really can't go with the grain. What I'm talking about is, if I just had like vertical lines on there, I could just use the squeegee in a vertical way. Or, if I just had horizontal lines, I could just squeegee, horizontally. But being as though I had both vertical and horizontal lines, um, yeah, it worked out, especially working in sections like I did. I know that, some lines look thicker than others. Um, so after I cut off the video or cut off the camera, I went in and cleaned it up. Took me, I think it took me about 30 minutes because I wondered before I started cleaning it up. I That was smart. Let's just wipe all the paint off of it. Anyway, yeah, I was wondering how long it was going to take me because um, it just gets really boring watching somebody do what, you know, I did as far as, the cleaning part of this goes. Um, so, but I thought, I wonder how long it's going to take to clean this up. Because I went around, the whole entire edge, outer edge. Then I went in, um, cleaned up the lines. I took I think I used about 4 or 5 Q-tips with both ends. I used both ends, and you can see right there that I'm just doing a little bit. And I thought, you know what, screw it. You're gonna have to come back later and clean it up anyway. So, and that's what I did. Just left it. And I'm trying to use, um, I'm gonna, how do I say this? I'm trying not to use a lot of paint because when you do, um, even though you're gonna squeegee it off, it just, it leaves a lot of paint, on the edge of your squeegee. So see how much paint, I don't know if y'all noticed, but, watch and see how much paint there is, um, on the bottom of the squeegee, you know, on the rubber part. Yeah, notice that next time. Because you don't need a lot of paint. You just need enough paint to fill in what you need to fill in. And we're almost done, I promise. Okay. Here we go again. Yeah, it was kind of, I mean, it wasn't really difficult, but it would have been nice if it would have been, you know, one clean line. And I tried to use every, you know, section of the squeegee that I could, in order to get all that paint off there. Yeah, I wasn't happy with the, names of the months, you know, where I had the purple paint mixed in with the white. I wanted a lot more of that white to show through. So that looks a little bit better. But yeah, you can definitely see just the rough parts in there that have paint left, you know, paint left over. So I've got it cleaned up, and I'm about to top coat it, with just some clear resin. And for those of you that are new to resin or you're thinking about getting into resin, when you're doing a project like this, um, tape off the back of your work. Um, oh, I'm taking my little popsicle stick to make sure that my edges are going to be, you know, there's not going to be any resin that gets underneath that tape. And I saw Felicia with the Crafting Nook do this, and I saw Canela Sirocco, do this also. She does this to her paintings. Um, but yeah, it is a super awesome time saver. Plus, it, protects the back of your work from drips, resin drips, because, when I first started out, especially with acrylic pouring, I didn't know, how to protect the back of my work. And I was doing tile, I was doing, acrylic pouring on tiles. And I went to top coat my tiles. And yeah, the tiles looked great, looked awesome. And then you flip it over and look at the bottom, and there's all these drips. And I'm like, oh, holy Hannah's socks. What in the world am I going to do about this? So I went online and I looked to see, how to get those drips off. But if you take your heat gun and hold it over those drips, um, you can take your X-Acto blade, and they'll just pop right off. But anyway, I put this on a tray because I'm going to be using this workspace after I'm done with this video. Oh, and I meant to tell y'all, please let your paint dry thoroughly. Um, I can't emphasize that enough. Let your paint dry thoroughly. It didn't happen on this project, but I did have a project, oh gosh, months ago that, yeah, I didn't let the paint dry, or I thought that it was dry and it wasn't. So, what I have here is, it's from KS Resin, and it's called Liquidy Split. This resin is real popular with artists that make tumblers and, like wine glasses and or like cups, because even though it's a 15-minute work time, um, it's dry to the touch in 4 hours. Now I came back in less than 4 hours and it was dry. Now I had my little heart shaped, the little rose heart, and yeah, you can tell that's a new bottle of um what's it called? Taffy Pink from Rez Expressions. And it was really difficult for me to get the protective cap off of it. So I just took my stick and you know, just slid it down in there because I had a little bit of resin left. Now this resin that I'm using is not a casting resin. It's not an art resin. It is specifically for coating only. Um, but I thought, what the hey? Well, let's see what it does. So, yeah, it's a 15-minute work time. I came back to check on the calendar. I don't know. I guess it was like 3 hours and 30 minutes. Um, that sucker it was dry. I couldn't believe it. So, yeah, you can see my little handy dandy molds that I always pull out. I can't tell y'all how many circles that I have. But that's okay. I could open up my own keychain shop or maybe make necklaces out of them. I don't know. But anyway, I will see y'all in the next video. Y'all take care. Bye.